And what do you want to see out of them in this game?
Oh, what do I want to see? I think I want to see the Gnar pop off again. I think that, the Gnar had a fairly solid performance, especially towards the later end of the game. And I think, CFO kind of all in a lot on just making sure they get all the dragons. But honestly, I think if they can team fight as well as they did last game, they probably don't need to. They can just play, a somewhat normal game, not have your Gnar walk halfway across the map very early.
Okay. Now, PSG. You're a PSG stan all of a sudden. You've converted.
Ooh, okay. PSG, I'm just looking for them all to press their ults at the same time. I think they have such an easy comp of just, if any one member finds the engage, everyone else can just follow up. And I think that does make the comp real easy. I guess if there were like a place to kind of target that, I do think early game, like the Lissandra and the Viego have potential to kind of snowball some 2v2s. But hey, if you're that PSG stan, Viego sucks.
That's exactly right. No, we see down bot lane here, you do generally expect to see Jinx get level 2 first, but just for the nature of having Annie, it looks like perhaps PSG will be able to do that, although it's not exactly one-sided at the moment.
Looks like the prior mid as well is pretty evened up, and for me, eyes really on the top matchup. I want to see how bad is it really for Gnar, or was it just something Rest did to himself last game? Hook connects on bot, a little bit of damage put on to Woody, but nothing more than that. And I think Gemini is pathing away from bot lane, so maybe he wants to help impact this top matchup early. On the other side, though, Jinjia will be pathing down. Pretty difficult, I think, to gank the Jinx and the Thresh, but could poke his head into the river. So far, though, pretty much just even across the board. Be interesting to check in with Rest CS as well, because I think has been falling behind in a lot of these games early, whether that's just because he's missing CS or is zoned off them. I'm not too sure, but so far he's looking very healthy and should be able to grab most of the CS. Maybe he's just missing them. I think I saw one just go wide there.
Oh, it happens to the best of us, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
Now, I just want to see. I really do, as you pointed out, want to see how this Kennen-Gnar matchup works, because even prior to his sort of roam down to that dragon, he'd already found himself at a fairly substantial deficit in terms of CS, but looks like this game at least, he is staying relatively even, only very slightly behind.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a deficit that you're pretty happy with. PSG's jungle support, though, they're going to enter the river, spotted out on this ward. They're both spotted. Lots of members in the river here, potentially going for the scuttle. And I think Sleichu, he could hook to steal it, but might find himself in trouble. Is not going to go for it. So it will just be the scuttles traded. And resets coming in from both junglers as they'll kind of path back to their opposite sides of the map. Was the double cull from the bot lane as well, or actually shouldn't based and picked up the cull. Not sure where he managed to find the recall.
Yeah, it looks like he got a bit of a cheater recall in there as Wako slowly pushes us back in towards CFO, and maybe shown at an early CS advantage, it seems, assuming he gets the majority of these minions. It was fairly even, all things considered, but really good job here out of the entirety of CFO, really, of keeping tabs on where Jinjia is. They've pretty much had constant vision over him this entire time, as Hook only slightly misses there.
Was very close to connecting, although I'm not sure if the follow-up actually would have been there. I feel like Gemini was out of lantern range. Could just be a little bit of chunk, though. And I wonder if they do look for some sort of regank before this wave crashes. Obviously, PSG's bot have not reset yet, so not as strong. I'm just getting zoned off the wave just a little bit. Looks like Gemini will be spotted out. Drops a pink on that drag. Maybe can just look to go back to it after a bit. Top matchup, though, it is starting to, I think, build a small lead here for the Kennen. Actually, Rest is very low in top lane. Not sure what happened, but took a very bad trade and is now forced to reset. He might even, he gets cancelled on his base as well. Bot lane's building their wave. No dive opportunity, though. Can just probably look for a base of their own. Gemini shows mid, kind of for no reason. Not sure why he showed if he wasn't playing for the Prio. Does just confirm his position. Rest bases, he's got himself the Merc Treads now. Obviously very good up against the Cannon and the Ari. I'm just going to base with a lot more gold, and once again, CS is pretty significant. PSG, they're looking towards a drag without having based. I wonder if this is a little greedy. Have to see. It depends a lot on the mid priority. I think CFO could contest this though.
Yeah, we might have our first fight of the game as Slaytrue will blast cone over into that river, and
TP from Arja.
Arza is teleporting to that bottom tower, so role's almost reversed from the last time we saw this top lane matchup, and he will just immediately recall knowing that his team has now got the dragon, and he actually shouldn't lose out on too much. Does look like Rest is freezing up there.
Yeah,
lose a couple minions.
I think it's going to be pretty punishing. It might actually end up evening up the CS, which is very, very important. And I think Rest might even end up XP off of it. So while it is that first dragon picked up for PSG, it does come at a cost. I just have to be really careful walking up to that wave as well. Gemini on this side of the map means that he always has the kind of fear of getting ganked, especially with Jimmian as well, who can enter the river. Doesn't have the most mana though, so we'll just start that base of his own. And I wonder, can Arja crash that top wave, or will Rest be able to keep it frozen? Top CS though is pretty much evened up off that, as well as the gold in general.
Yeah, but still important, I think, for the side of PSG to be able to pick up that early dragon. Certainly like being able to work on that stacking early, and it bodes well for champions like the Aphelios to be able to pick up such early objectives. Not typically one to have all that much prio as soon as some abilities start coming down from the other teams, both AD carry and support.
Rest looks like he's just going to be able to keep farming this from range, so that TP has kind of fixed his top matchup for him. And on the other side of the map, Wako hasn't managed to reset yet, but I think he will probably play for one now. They are going to start at that reset. This is ahead of the Herald. Can this base get cancelled? Ooh, it does. I think that's pretty important. If you can stop, especially the support recall before Herald, that does mean that it will just kind of be that 3v3 around top, at least for now. And it buys you a little bit of time as well for Gemini. Oh, they cancelled again with that ward. It's getting them so much value. Now I wonder, could there be some trade? PSG, they're looking to just start up this Herald. And Gemini, he's hard committing on the other side of the map. Maybe wants to try and invade the red. Spots out Annie as well. Ward comes down here from Rest. And maybe not content to give that one over, is instead going to cross mid.
Looking on Ubel, but seems like he got away all right.
This is looking... So, PSG are here a lot earlier, and also Wako has much better tempo on the bot wave, so if there is some sort of plate trade coming out, it is better for them. It's a 4v4, and I think it probably favors the side of PSG given their position. Rest, he has a flank though.
Yeah, Migana, oh, Charm goes wide, and Hook lands onto Ubel. That's a massive mistake as Gemini now picks up that Herald.
Yeah, so well played there from the side of CFO, managed to dodge out the flash Charm. And then end up sneaking the Herald off the back end of it. Where will it end up being used, though? Kind of feels like bot lane might be the place. And did Wako even manage to trade any plates? I don't think he did. No, the tower remains very healthy. So nice job there from CFO. Get the Herald. Don't have to trade anything over for it. And there's now the Mobies on Slaytrue, who's going to get very active on this map.
Yeah, really well played there. And Ubel went, tried to look for something. If that Charm does connect, they probably pick up that kill, but it was not to be, and ultimately CFO find themselves at an early gold lead, and take a look at the replay.
I wonder, because he went for the flash charm on the Thresh, I believe it was. Oh yeah, I feel like even if got the Thresh might not be the best target. Probably was better to save it for Gemini instead, and after that, you know, with the cooldowns burn, do have to walk away. Shun has himself a pretty solid bunch of items here. Plates all still up and available. No plate taken anywhere on the map yet. Currently though, Gemini's on the top side with the Herald. Maybe just wants to drop it mid while Ubel's on base. Looks like instead he's probably just hovering around. I mean, maybe just wants to free up Jimmy and to come 4-man dive bot. That could be the play. Yeah, they're entering the bot side jungle together. I think PSG's bot lane has to be quite careful. There is no TP from Arja.
Junjie will spot out the invis at least from this Viego, and Woody being level 6 does make it a lot harder to dive this bot lane, but with where the wave is, this is terrible for PSG.
Yeah, they're going to have to give up some creeps for now. Not the end of the world. Mid Prior continues to go the way of Jimian. Is probably going to go grab himself a blue, which is going to allow him to spam on the wave even more. And Yubao, not having the flash or the cleanse, does make him pretty vulnerable to jungle ganks. Looks like they will just enter that bot river. And top matchup's looking a lot closer than it was in the previous Naris Kennen match. Definitely good news for the side of CFO. And lots of members in that bot river, maybe looking for some sort of engage. I think lots of members very vulnerable here, honestly. If a hook connects or the Lissandra, PSG could find themselves in trouble. 3 members, though, they are going to maintain the control. Can they start this up? I kind of feel like it's greedy, but they're looking to. I think they need to back off of it. Okay, they're going to go back to it. Both top laners do have TP. RJ maybe has his in about 10 seconds. And CFO, maybe he just played a Herald mid instead? Looks like Jimian will just go mid. And PSG, they're spending a lot of time in the river, which will cause mid to fall quite far behind in CS. Yubao is giving up wave after wave, and it's starting to cost him. Now down 20 CS. Herald is going to be dropped mid by Gemini here as well. And PSG, kind of unlike them, placing a lot of priority on this dragon, while meanwhile they're falling behind in gold in other areas. TP comes in.
Junjie caught out here. Hook does land as well as the Frozen Tomb. Is he able to get Cyclone off? He does, but it's too little too late. First blood goes to Slaytrue.
Obviously not the person you want first blood on, but very good to kill Junjie there. And that should be the dragon going the way of CFO. Honestly, really weird macro from the side of PSG there. I'm not sure why they felt so much kind of priority over that dragon. I think they're normally the ones that are willing to trade. Instead, I guess, maybe after last game, didn't want it to be coming down to the Dragon Soul, but already had one to the name. It's now evened up 1-1, and a reasonable gold lead here for the side of CFO. We'll have to see how much can they get done off these mythics. It's the Everfrost and the Kraken, now both completed.
Yeah, almost uncharacteristic of PSG in that dragon sort of fight. It was, you don't usually see them commit so many resources for just a second dragon, but ultimately they do, and it doesn't pay off. It is now CFO pretty comfortably ahead for the 13-minute mark.
Now, second Herald will be spawning in just a minute and a half, and I think with that first Herald placed on mid, CFO will probably look to repeat that. Currently just going to take away some of this bot side control, which makes it more and more difficult for Wako to continue to pressure the lane. It's now, you know, CS leads for all 3 lanes on the side of CFO. Feeling pretty good about that as Gemini is going to swap back to the bot side. It is permanent priority here out of this Lissandra counterpick, and the CC with the Viego as well looks very good. They're now pinging on their way towards that bot jungle. They have so much control, but Arja still has the TP, so do need to respect that. Looks like it will just be more farming for now. Maybe they can take away some of Junjia's camps. Raps are being looked at. And Woody
has to be careful. He is going to be hooked here. He's getting so low. Flash away will let him survive, but that is a massive cooldown. As we see up top, Junjie goes down for a second time. Spirit Wash is enough there, but Kennen comes in. Ozzy finds the stun. Lantern will get him out for now. As Woody's looking, it is now Wako trying to find something over that wall, but ultimately it is not to be. Junjie goes down for a second time. It's now 2 kills to 0.
absolutely finesse there. Where the side of PSG by CFO, and a pause comes through. I'm not sure what happened there. I think pretty big win for CFO, all things considered, though. A lot of sums burn, and even Arja's TP is pretty important. I wonder if Slaytrue could have found that kill onto Woody if he'd gone for the flash flame, but maybe didn't. So I guess there's going to be some weird bug or interaction here. Let's kind of have a look at it. I mean, everything looks pretty normal to me so far. Now, I don't really see anything that would warrant the pause. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Apparently the CFO support DC'd, but looks like the fight was already over by the time that happened, so Wasn't anything to do with that fight in particular. Well played, though, from the side of CFO, right? They managed to find the pick onto Woody, get his flash, and then simultaneously the mid-jungle finds that pick onto Jinjia. And maybe, again, a sort of uncomfortable situation for them, not used to playing without that mid and bot priority. You know, losing their jungle control and then trying to retake it, we're punished pretty heavily.
We will go back into game now, and I mean, yeah, it's interesting to see PSG at a fairly substantial deficit, although with this team, you can't really ever count them out, particularly if Wako has one of his sort of hyper-scaling AD carries. But ultimately, it looks like CFO are truly bouncing back and doing everything they can to take us here to game number 5.
Okay, second Herald looks like it will get started up here. And probably will get dropped mid as well. It's started up by Gemini, and now Jinjia's going to try trade something on the other side of the map. There's pings onto that bot tower, but I don't think they can go for it. Looks like Shun will just be able to return bot and keep farming up. Actually, he goes mid, and they wisely send Jimmy in to the side lane. He will be a lot safer there. Can easily withstand those dives. And Wako, he's hitting that bot tower, but how much can he get done before members get down? Didn't actually get to see the health on the tower, but must have got at least a few orders on it.
Yeah, now where do you look as sort of PSG to try and find some gold back? And because as we saw the last couple of games, even though PSG had found themselves at a fairly substantial lead, Shun was still managing to find a lot of gold, and the same can't really be said here for Wako.
Well, Shun, he's in trouble here. Maybe has a lantern.
Looking, Cyclone cancels it. Is he able to get away? Nice dodge jump out there by Jinjia, who's going to follow the blast cone. It is going to be Jinjia pick up that kill, and pretty crazy mechanics out of him to be able to find that.
Shun does get taken down, but I still think it's better for the side of CFO. They got 2 mid towers, and they did trade flashes there. Obviously, was the kill picked up, but it goes on the Wukong, and now Shun is so accelerated on this Jinx. Ahead of the next Dragon fight, I think is really important. So, you know, unfortunately, probably thought he could do that and get out, but honestly, even with dying, I think it could be worth it. As Jimmy is just going to rotate towards mid with a bit of bot priority here. I wonder why. I feel like he could just stay bot here, but it looks like they're instead going to send Shun towards bot. I guess just wanted to protect this mid tower. And Jimmy, he doesn't quite have the TP up yet, but look at his CS lead. I mean, it's at 189 CS, only 17 minutes in. Yubao's not even farming badly, but Jimmy is just farming better.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dragon spawning now in 30 seconds. Yubao has Exhaust Ignite through the spell book, and I wonder if that's going to play any big sort of part in this next fight. I mean, obviously we'll have to wait and see, but you almost feel for PSG that you can almost afford to just give this as you work towards either that Bloodthirster or perhaps the Infinity Edge on Aphelios.
Yeah, could just give this up. I honestly feel like PSG should probably look to trade something. Instead, they're looking to contest 5v5. They do have good engage. If they can find the right targets, can certainly kill them, but you kind of feel like CFO are in a much better position, have a lot more gold. It really does come down to how well can PSG use this teamfight composition that they have.
Both tops are here, but as we just saw, Meganar will not be available for the next 30-ish seconds, and that could be an angle as Junji gets hooked here. Clone will be used, and he stays relatively healthy, but nice snare by Jimmy, and we'll find him. He goes down first. Shun now excited as Yubao is searching for him, but will not be able to find him just. Wako gets slowed up, and Azi's here, but is not able to find a stun with the Slicing Maelstrom. Shun is going to have to flash away on just 1 HP, and ultimately, very close fight, but 1 kill found versus the 0 for PSG.
The health bars are so low. It looks like it will be PSG, though. They come out slightly on top. Okay, they're not going to do the drag. I thought they would actually start up the dragon there, but maybe without the jungler, they don't want to risk it. So resets will come in, and I guess that means that CFO are probably on the map quicker. DP does come in from Yubao, so they're still looking to hard contest this. There are no sums on Shun this time. A lot of missing ults, though, from the side of PSG, and they definitely need those if they want to fight this. I think Yubao probably just needs to give this one up. So yeah, CFO, they end up getting their kill and the dragon, so they're the ones that come out on top in the end. Very nice.
Yeah, well played there by CFO again to find bit by bit, more and more, and then they're getting a real strong foothold on this game. And Junjie hasn't been performing like we're used to really in this game, and it almost looks like he thinks he's playing Sejuani still with how he's just face checking, but Jimmy finds a nice snare after the Slay True hook and are able to take him down immediately. And if Junjie was able to have any impact on that last fight, you have to feel like perhaps they win it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that just respecting the amount of CC that comes out is very difficult, right? Was the Thresh hook followed up by like less WR Everfrost? It's just so long, even with the tenacity. And importantly, gave Shun the reset as well. But now a 4.5k gold lead for CFO at 20 minutes, something that they kind of find themselves with very often. Now, in the past, you know, especially pre-playoffs, have thrown plenty of leads where it was this big. But honestly, in playoffs, I feel like their team fighting has been a lot cleaner. And when they get these leads, they normally do manage to close it out. PSG, though, they're kind of the king of comebacks, especially Waku, who is still reasonably strong here on the Aphelios.
Definitely is, and if he can finish this IE soon, will bode really well for their chances. Jimmy in here does have to commit that Zhonya's. It is, I guess it's a good trade. I mean, he didn't really trade it for anything, but definitely survives, and that's just as important as anything. As CFO now have a fast track on this mid wave. There isn't really anything to get. It's not likely they take this inhibitor tower, but it's nice to constantly have pressure and then go through this jungle. They're going to pick up Raptors as well as red buff.
Yeah, with those two mid towers down, just able to enter the jungle so aggressively and take away so much gold. And you can see that, right, again, all three lanes, as well as the jungle, have CS leads for the side of CFO, just able to access more of the map than their opponents. And getting further and further ahead, I don't even think PSG realize how far behind they are.
Junjie looking for Shun is going to get the flash, so that's going to be very important. It won't be up for this next dragon, and he is the strongest member, you'd have to think, at this stage of the game.
Yeah, without that flash, obviously he has the Lantern, but there's so much threat coming out from PSG. There's, you know, the Flash Wukong or Kennen, or even the Annie could make things very difficult. Shun will have the Cleanse, makes it at least slightly playable, but it does look tough for him without the flash. And PSG, they don't want to let CFO rush down another Baron. They drop a little bit of vision here. This can still be started up by CFO, though. They have a lot of pings.
Yeah, there is this here, which will spot all of them out, but looking now onto Yubao, our CFO, he might just have to commit Spirit Rush to get away. He is going to get snared up as well as stunned by that Frozen Tomb. It is going to be Junjie coming in, however. Jimmy and flashing away. Gemini getting really low. Heartbreaker committed. Woody looks like he might be the first to go down. He is going to be. Gemini gets a reset, but Azi is here. What can he find? He finds one. Shun's so low, as well as Slay True. One more auto will do it. Doesn't look like they can find it for now, but so many low health bars. Are they able to look perhaps at this Baron?
I think should be no Baron for anyone just yet, but you have to feel that PSG have just been robbed with the way people have been getting so low. Just low health bars every time, but no one manages to go down. They did get Gemini, but obviously doesn't have any shutdown, and it wasn't the kill on the carries that they were looking for. Next Dragon only in a minute 20 here. It is 2 items now completed by Waku, has himself the IE. As we'll get a replay of what unfolded, and it looked like initial plan of Yubao was good, but bought himself quite a lot of time here. A nice counter engage from Junjie forces Jimmy out. Woody fails the flash and the ult though, doesn't get anything. And look how much damage comes out of Shun. Gets Woody so low. And I think honestly, you know, the flash ult that comes in from Arja afterwards, it kind of saves the fight. It gets Shun very low. Even if Aphelios trades a lot of damage, but you know, imagine if Woody just had the flash ulti up and available at some point in there. Again, could have been completely different, and you don't expect it, but it feels like PSG are just being out-teamed for it.
It definitely looks that way, and particularly by Shun. That guy, I think the last 2 team fights has lived on just 1 HP, and that time he had to try and navigate it without the flash as well. So, well played by him. It is going to still be down for this dragon, as Wako has both sums. There is also Cleanse Exhaust on Yubao on this Ahri. Azi, importantly, though, does not have flash, so if he is to find impact in this team fight, it's likely going to have to be through a flank instead of front on.
Oh, Yubao, though, he's engaged on early.
Yubao getting low. He has to commit that Spirit Rush already. So before the fight, isn't going to have access to this ult. As Jimmy takes a little bit of damage back, but definitely worth it for Yubao's ult.
Yeah, no ult on Yubao makes reaching Shun much more difficult. No flashes on the Cannon or the Wukong as well, and the Annie. So Shun's feeling very good in this fight.
How's he looking?
I don't know what kind of miracle did PSG need in order to reach Shun. I don't think there's a way.
Junjia perhaps can find one, and it will be Dragon taken from the side of CFO. And they are now one off that Dragon Soul again, so bit of a repeat of yesterday, as Na is going to be used, as well as the Frozen Tomb. What can Wako do? He's in here with perfect guns for this sort of environment. Gets rest quite low, and ultimately it is no one going down, but oh, these fights are getting so close.
There are pings onto the Baron. I don't think CFO can do it in time, but maybe at least thinking about it. Looks like they will just go back and answer the other lanes. And Rest has to be careful. Arja has the ult. If he steps up too far, could find himself in trouble. He has a lot of MR though, but it is a void on the cannon.
Yeah, is he going to look for it?
Oh, I wonder if he's going to try go while he's resetting.
Mega Na might come out, so has to be careful. He's going to commit to it. It will be Rest. Is not window shopping, so he'll be okay to get away.
Was potentially a dicey situation, but I think very important that he not only lives but keeps his flash there. I think if you had to flash away from the cannon, it would kind of nullify a lot of your impact in that next fight. 3 items here already for Shun, as Wako, I think, is just going to pick up components towards his third. Let's see how much gold he has. Yeah, just gets that BF sword, most likely building towards the BT next. And player gold, Shun so far ahead of the next person here. Very, very nice for him. And mid lane as well, pretty much just off the CS and assists, has himself almost 1,000 gold lead for Jimian. Working on the Banshees next as well, so going to be very hard for him to take out. There is a lot of AP damage on the side of PSG, so the magic resist gets a lot of value.
Yubao trying to find some damage, but won't be that consequential for Gemini, and constant mid-prio here for the side of CFO, and with that they're able to just control whichever side of the blue team quadrant they want.
Currently have so much control in that top side river. Shun has both his sums up now, and you kind of feel like he should be pretty hard to threaten. Doesn't really have any lifesteal though, so if they can chunk him out, you know, it does go a long way towards winning that fight. Can just get him low enough that he can't really afford to DPS anymore. PSG now, they're the ones that are going to try retake, but are they actually allowed to? Doesn't really feel like it. Yeah, CFO, they're going to try contest Junjia.
Junjia, he should be okay, but importantly, very shortly, we will have all flashes available here for PSG, so Shun again going to have to play better than usual when that is the case. He does have access to his flash as well, so we'll have that available, but ultimately, it is Baron getting looked at, and entire control is in favor of CFO, honestly, of the entire map.
Yeah, they have so much control over both side lanes as well as all the vision that they need. It is the 4th dragon in 2 more minutes, and you might just see them play for that. Can smite this away? Doesn't look like it can be. So it is PSG there to maintain the control around here, but Junjia
Gia has to be careful. He is okay to escape for now. We'll get that Banshees actually, as Jimian is charmed up and stunned. He does use his ult. Is he able to get away? Nice, Zonya's there. It looks like he might be fine, and Junjia is almost dead. He goes down to the Super Mega Death Rocket. Jimian and Gemini are stuck in this Baron Pit for now. They're taking so much damage as Wako aims to sort of zone off the rest of the team. Gemini is still taking damage from Baron. He's okay to get out now, but it's just Junjia going down again.
Yeah, once again, low health bars on the side of CFO, but so much time bought from Jimian with the ulti and the stopwatch. And Junjia, you know, not finding the performance he normally does. He's kind of been such an unshakable member of PSG all split long ever since he joined. But here, you know, not finding the mark. Is only a minute away from Dragon, and that was the Wukong flash used. Even a Hex Drinker coming in from Shun now. It feels so hard to kill him.
Yeah, definitely optimizing some safety, as Rest has to be a little bit careful here. Yubao will spot him out. It is actually the Raptor picked up by Rest, so well done by him to get that. Oh, do you fight? I mean, you have to fight this next dragon, but do you realistically win? You're so close to Bloodthirster on Wako. It feels such a shame that you're not going to be able to have that for this fight, but Kenan now is teleporting into the mid tower.
Yeah, I think probably just wanted to get out safely, but engage isn't found here by Jimian. And CFO, they have a lot of options. Can obviously turn to the Baron. Also picking up the Cloud Drag would be pretty nice for helping them find those engages. Gia needs to be really careful. He's kind of the only one that can face check, but is also very, very vulnerable. Flank coming in from RJ. Big flank, actually.
Yeah, RJ's trying to find something here. He does have flash available. And with Shun being there alone, isolated from the rest of his team, this could be a really good angle. Box used from Slaytrue. Not sure exactly what that's about. Maybe they suspected RZ was coming, but is just the threshold down now as RZ still looks here on the side. Blast Cone not going to really help as Rest is being turned onto. Jimmy and Claw down now too. A lot of cooldowns being used, very important ones. Yubel will look for the charm, isn't going to find it. Wako picks up the dragon as an engage starts out. Junji looking like he will go down, but what can Wako find? He manages to find Jimmy, and can he find Rest? Not just yet, but look how many chakras he has. Are they going to be able to follow Yubel? Does not have ult, but could potentially look for a charm. It looks like for now it will just be the dragon and one traded over to PSG, but do they look for Baron?
Oh, I think they probably should. There's so low health bars again here from the side of CFO, but
RZ still has ult.
Oh, I think it can be hard to start it up. But you have them right when they want them. You can kind of just chase them down. Yubal's coming on a long flank. If they can just keep them here, CFO, they have nowhere to run. Are going to be forced to fight this 4v5, and Yubal's coming.
Wako slowly poking them down. RZ will find it. He knows where they are. Isn't going. I don't know what Gemini was searching for just now, but Yubal's arrived now. Junjia going in first. It looks like they're going for Rest. He does get exhausted by Yubal. Is found by Shun. It's now 3 people left alive for the side of CFO. Shun finding so much damage. Gets excited again, but it looks like he will go down. It is eventually the kills found here for the side of PSG. Jimian has respawned though. There are low health bars. Can he delay this? Ult available. I have to imagine possibly Zonya's is as well. PSG will decide not to take it for now.
Yeah, without the smite and with those low health bars, they back away from that. But what a performance from both ADCs. I think it was 7,000 damage from Wako, and Shun with a pretty insane performance at the back end of that. Really tried his best to save them from what looked like a pretty unwinnable situation of just being forced into this jungle. And you'll kind of see here, I think, wisely played from PSG. They pretty much just heard the side of CFO, waiting for Yubal's Ari to kind of walk out of base. And then we'll have to look at how Shun managed to survive for so long, because it seems like he's just kind of dead, honestly, with his position here. Flanked on all angles is the side of CFO. Flash or Charm did come out, and ulti as well. Oh, Shun got the reset and was then able to kite out the rest of the Cannonall, as well as got himself over this wall, dealt so much damage, but Wako is the man who lives at the very end of it, and just both the ADCs so much damage, but I can't believe that PSG are managing to pull this game back.
It is Wako's Aphelios. You can never really count him out. As look at the damage dealt in that team fight. Honestly, Aze found a really nice ult, found a lot of damage, but it's Wako that takes home the cake for the most amount of damage. And after that fight, he now, importantly, has Bloodthirster as well as Last Whisperer headed towards that LDR.
Even has the flash for himself as well, right? Where Shun unfortunately used it in that last skirmish.
Yeah, Junjia has flash ult now, so really risky business for Shun playing around these team fights now, as Junjia will get Lissandra ult. That's a massive team fight ultimate now down.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if CFO try and start this up. I think most likely want to keep pushing the side lanes, keep using the prior that they can get over mid. Thunder ult is still down, so not going to look for anything else. But the gold lead was mostly closed up here. I mean, still down a bit, but if you look at the members, right, we've got Rabadons and Void on the Kennen. We've got the BT completed on Wako. It's really the Ari, I think, that's a lot of this gold deficit. But at this point, if you hit a charm, your job is just done for Yubal. And the charm does hit.
Yeah, we find Gemini here. He will be okay. Quite a tanky on that Viego is Gemini, but importantly, there is a fast track here for CFO down mid, and PSG are going to have to answer that. Rest almost at Mega. Jimmy in trying to find Wako, but Wako positioning nicely to not be found. Inferno will instantly clear out these waves, so that'll feel nice for him as Hook slightly goes wide.
It was very close. Not sure if it could have been followed up on, but Next Dragon is in a minute, and I wonder if CFO this time will instead just try and trade away the Baron. Rest has Mega.
Yeah, they're looking. It won't be found just yet, and Arze is at their red buff, so they have to be so careful. They have no idea where he is at the moment. They are searching for him, but unlikely to find him in this current position as recalls come through here for the side of CFO.
Yeah, he's found himself a pretty ridiculous flank, but unfortunately won't come to anything as his recalls do complete. 30 seconds away from this drag, and I think CFO, they've kind of missed their window if they want to try to do the Baron here. I'm just going to stay around, though, just in case someone face checks him, and maybe that's what they look to do. Yeah, pings towards the Baron. Arj's probably going to move back up to his previous position.
He's not knowing.
Yeah, I think CFO, they have to be very, very careful starting this up. Jimmyon's going to try find him. There are missing pings above.
Okay, there is no flash, and Blast Cone is taken away now, but he'll be able to find his way around. That pink ward's not in the bush, importantly.
Oh, he is such a good angle, but can he close the distance in time?
Oh,
Jimmy
he will be spotted, but what can they find here? He's coming around to join his team. Does not have flash just yet. It is not far off as Junjia looks here. Does have flash ult. The fight starts out. It is going to be Junjia getting taken extremely low. Nice block there off the ult, but it's going to be Wako hooked up. Cleanse used. Jimmyon's going to go down. Reset's coming out now as Wako flashes in to just die. It's 1-4 now. Yubao, importantly, does live, but is this possibly the end of the game?
I think it could be. They have the Jinx. Pushes so fast. Can just go down mid at this point. A lot of the wave clear's gone. It looks like they're going to take the safe play and go towards the Baron, which I think is completely fine as well, because you know that if this game keeps going like this, you are just going to end up ahead. I think amazing fight there from Shun, who managed to deal all that without using any sums. Wako invested both, and they honestly kind of just resulted in his death. Resets will come through. They have the Baron. They should be able to pick up the 4th Dragon as well. I think we might be going to game number 5.
It does appear that way, and yeah, I mean, Wako's flash in that fight was definitely peculiar, but ultimately it's now going to be on cooldown. He picks up the QSS, which is quite important in dealing with this Lissandra, but is it too little too late?
Yeah, it does feel like the game is going to be so tough now, especially with that Cloud Soul picked up. It's so much extra movement speed, and I think that can allow you to kind of kite out stuff like the Cannon ult. Cannon obviously has a lot of damage here, but doesn't have a lot of survivability. Only really has the stopwatch, and feels like Jinjia is kind of just a reset for Jinx at this point. Just gets CC'd up and taken out very early. Now, CFO, they can probably break the base, I think, with this Baron. They're going to be pushing in this bot wave. Tower perhaps can be sieged now as well. TP comes through from Jimmy, so they're going to really go hard on this bot wave. Mid's not being put... Oh, no. Gemini is in mid. He doesn't have a wave yet, though. Honor of PSG. They don't have flashes for engage. I mean, I guess they have the cannon, but he doesn't have a flank. Can keep this tower alive for now, it looks like.
Yeah, Infernum doing nice work at sort of clearing these minion waves here as Arze looks to answer this middle lane push. It is Hullbreaker yet again for rest here as Junji looking. There is... The Shirelli is committed but will not find anything as Rest does just happily dash away, and it's getting a bit dire now. You have to look for something. Wako has the perfect guns. Wait for Shun's reset, and are you able to find anything realistically though? You don't have Junjia, neither Woody's flash, and those are so important at ever trying to have a chance at dealing with Shun.
It does feel really tough. They're looking for something. Jimmy and Zhonya's is forced.
Yeah, that is Banshee's down, but Yupal, importantly, will not have Spirit Rush now. Jimmy gets really low, actually. Junjia looking. Arze finds the flank. It is flash from Shun, and it looks like Arze will be going down. He does Zonya's first, so reset is a little bit delayed, but Wako gets hooked in the back. It is going to be Wako going down. Is it actually? He's finding a lot of damage. He actually finds one. It's still 3v1. Wako's found a way to do it somehow, as he does also take out Jimmy on the side. Rest getting so low. It's 2v3 now. But importantly, low health bars for PSG. Are they going to be able to somehow find Shun? He does land the Q. Shun getting quite low. Teleport now coming in for rest. What can Wako do? It's really up to him at this point. He puts down the tower. He does have the extra range, but it's Shun who finds him. Yubel will be to follow, and we're going to yet another game 5.
I can't believe it. 5 best of 5s in a row go to game number 5. Absolutely insane here in the PCS, and CFO, they've been looking really good games 3 and 4, and PSG, I haven't found. I mean, they've found themselves, down before, but down in like this sort of thing, losing your momentum coming into Game 5, it's going to be real scary for them. Obviously, can choose the blue side again, but you were thinking, maybe the reason CFO won Game number 3 was the blue, but now they managed to win on red as well, and it's a very, very good look for them going into Game number 5. I'm not even sure what teams are going to change at this point, because I kind of feel like it has just come down to pretty much just play, of which CFO, they've been out team fighting PSG.
Yeah, I think Shun really has stepped it up. I think maybe CFO are actually just one of those teams where they get to the 0-2 comfort zone and they just switch on. I mean, Shun's looked good all series. We've said it before, but I mean, that game to be